Hey, it's Batak. Hello, let's talk about Bobble. This is a wonderful little game, one of my very favourites. I've had this since I was a kid, so I'm lucky I know it inside out. Really fun little arcade platformer, converted to everything under the sun, and generally the Master System version is held to be the best, for a number of reasons. So, for the Master8 goal, we're doing either beat 13 levels or 25. Time will start when you press 1 on the 1 player start button. And let's just go over some basics of the game first of all. Okay, so you are Bubbling, this green dragon here. These are your lives. You've always got a 0 life as well. This is your stage number. This is your points. I've got some numbers here. We will discuss these in a little while, but let's just discuss the game ideas first. So the aim of the game is to destroy all the enemies on the screen. You've got various different types of enemies, and they all have different move patterns. And the way you do that is by blowing bubbles. And you can trap enemies in bubbles, and that will freeze them in place. And then when enemies are in bubbles, you can destroy those bubbles and that will kill the enemy. If you're right next to an enemy, you can also kill it directly by biting or kissing it. So you've got a few pixels margin to do that. But otherwise, enemies will kill you and you'll lose a life. And the important thing with Bobble is if you lose a life, you lose all your power-ups. So it's more of a defensive game. You want to avoid losing a life, especially if you've collected a bunch of things. There's a time limit on each stage. It doesn't show it, but when you are going slowly, you'll get a hurry up sign. And then if you carry on being slow, you'll get a ghost chasing you, which is funny. Not really a worry, just something to be aware of. And again, if the ghost touches you, you'll lose a life. But one of the interesting things with Bobble is that some stages will have vertical looping. So you'll have holes in the bottom of the screen and in the top. And if you fall through the bottom, you'll come out the top, no harm done. You can even go the other way because you can bounce on your bubbles. And in each stage, there is like an air current, a gravity. So blown bubbles will move through the stage. You can do various tricks like that. You can bounce on bubbles to reach higher areas. You can clump a load of bubbles together and then get points from them. So, now that you know a little bit about the game, what are these numbers here? Well, Bobble being an arcade game runs on counters. There are various items you get in the game. In every stage, you'll get a point item, which is just worth points, and then you'll get a special item. And the special item that you get is based on various counters. These are just some of them here. And the counters track various actions that you're taking in the game. So it's tracking how many times you jump, which also accounts for bouncing on bubbles. It counts how many bubbles you blow. It counts how many bubbles you pop. It counts how many pixels you walk in the screen, and every time you get to 256 it resets and adds a 10 here. And then it also counts the number of candies you've eaten, which are one of the special items. It counts the amount of screen wraps you do. It counts the types of special bubbles you pop, so water, fire, lightning, just all of that. Basically, if there is a function in this game, you can presume there's a counter associated with it. And what that means is that you can do certain things to gain items to make your life easier. Now, another feature of the game is the extend letters. So, when you group enemies together in a certain number of bubbles and then kill them all at the same time, you can create a combo. So, I've got 3 enemies here, Zengens. If I chain all 3 of them together in bubbles, and the bubbles are close enough that when I pop them, they all die at the same time, that'll be a 3 combo. And a 3 combo will add 1 extend letter to the queue. What that means is the next time there's a level with openings at the bottom or openings at the top, letters E, X, T, E, N, and D will float through as 3 bubbles for you to collect. You break those, and you get letters that spell out extend here. And whenever you've spelled out extend, you'll instantly end that stage and get an extra life. So that's another one of the useful ways that you can play this game, is by trying to get your extra lives towards stages that are going to be difficult, or just to save time. Just to mention, for the Master 8 goal, you can't use umbrellas. The way to trigger umbrellas is by screen wrapping a lot. You don't need to worry about it, because the special items will always appear in the same spot in every stage. Just be aware that for this goal you can't use the umbrellas. Okay, so I've waffled on for a bit. We're in the first stage, but the important thing here is that actually there's a secret in the first stage already. Now, unless you are gunning to win the Master 8, I would highly recommend that you take advantage of this secret, because it's going to make your life that much easier playing this game. So Bobble has a number of secret doors which will be triggered on various actions. And in this stage, all you have to do is avoid ending the stage for long enough that the door will trigger. And the door will trigger up here. And a level timer will only stop when all the enemies have been killed. So what do I mean by that? We could kill 2 of these enemies, and then the other one will go berserk and angry and move faster. And as long as we keep him alive, whether he's in a bubble or not, that level timer will still be running towards that secret door. So all you have to do is survive in this level for long enough. Doesn't matter if you die or not, just don't game over, that door will open. And if you do game over, you get infinite continues. You'll always start from the level that you've finished on. Your counters will always stay as they were as well. So just to be aware, if you've set up something with the counters and you game over, those numbers won't reset, so don't worry about that. Okay, so the first secret is going to be to keep one of these enchants alive for long enough to get into this door. While you do that, practice your movement, get plenty of jumps in, get plenty of bubbles blown and popped, because that's going to help you to get familiar with the game. So let's see what that looks like. You've got a slightly floaty jump in this game. There's your first 10,000 point item. If I commit to that jump and then I move backwards, it's sort of slower on the way back. And you can see these enemies are moving in horizontal lines. Sometimes they're going to stop and jump up a platform. Sometimes they'll pause for a while. Let's blow a bubble, and you can see the gravity in the level now as well. And the gravity in each level is always the same each playthrough. Now the hurry up signs come, so this guy's angry, he's moving much faster. And eventually the bubbles up here with the trapped enemies will burst if you leave them too long as well. So you'll see that now they're going red. They're going to burst. And now we've got Baron von Blubber here, the ghost. And what the ghost will do, just to be aware, he will track your position, and then he will move in steps to you in the X and the Y. So right now I'm here. He's going to either move above me or to the same line as me. And he's going to keep repeating that in steps. And he's going to get faster and faster. Now if I die now when these guys are angry, they'll reset. So if you want to take one death here, that would perfectly be fine. But you're probably better off trying to learn how to avoid all these creatures. And I'm waiting for this door to open here. And we'll see what happens when I get there. Let's keep in diagonals away from this guy. There's the door. And we are in a secret room, and there are 6 treasure chests. So in each of these treasure chests is going to be some goodies, there's going to be lots of points, and there's going to be some of the secret items. So as far as I can tell, there are 2 seeds for this on this first stage, and 1 seed gives you the sneaker and a couple of candies, and the other seed gives you 3 candies. Now, I'm not exactly sure how to reliably get one of those each time, but as far as I can tell, not killing anything on the first stage tends to go better. So let's see what I've got here. To open these chests here, you need to jump in front of them. So I got the pink candy there. If I'd got the seed I intended, I would have got the slipper there. And the sneaker, the slipper, will speed you up. You'll get double speed. We'll go through these candies in a moment. Let's get everything first. There's a load of stuff coming out. Always ignore food, it's just points. Show you that again actually, to make sure I can get everything. There's the orange candy. Orange candy is the most important. So straight away I've got an orange candy and I've got a pink candy. You can see all my counters moving up here. Okay, so I still think it's worth it unless you're bent on winning the race to do that, because you'll get 2 candies straight away. And candies are extremely powerful because they alter your bubbles. So the orange candy, the most valuable one, lets you rapid fire bubbles. So show you what that looks like. You can see just how useful that is. And that means that you're going to be able to kill everything much quicker. You're going to be able to spam bubbles more, which means you've got less chance of being hurt. And in long stages, or stages where there's a bunch of enemies, it's extremely useful. And then the blue candy will let your bubbles travel further, so more than halfway across the screen, which is also very useful. And the pink candy will let them travel a little bit faster as well, so again, that comes in handy. Now, just so you know how to trigger those, that's with these 3 counters here. So, in order to get your special item for a stage, as the orange candy, you want to jump 40 times. And then when the next stage loads in, that'll reset, and that'll be your special item. If you blow 40 bubbles, let me double check my notes to be sure I'm saying the correct thing. If you blow 40 bubbles, you'll get the pink candy. And if you pop 40 bubbles, you'll get the blue candy. Now, let's say you've got all 3 of them at once. Yellow takes priority over pink, and pink takes priority over blue. So if you can jump 40 times, bounce on 40 bubbles, that's going to get you that candy as well. That'll then 0, and they stack up as well. So you can see down here I've got a counter for yellow candy, because if you collect 3 of those, you get something else as well. That isn't really important for this goal. I've then also got walk here, which is the number of pixels of the screen you've walked, and the tens. So whenever that gets to 256, that's adding 1 there. And whenever you do 12 passes of the screen, you will get the shoe. So let me do that and show you what the shoe looks like. I'm going to go into a save state here, bear with me. And I'm going to edit the numbers so that that's what I get for my next item. Don't do this yourselves in the race, of course. But we'll show you what the shoe looks like and then you get an idea. Okay, so you can see that was reset there. Special item will come up here. And there's the shoe. So this is how fast I'm walking without it. Now watch. Whee! Incredibly, incredibly useful. Now, as I say, I'm not yet sure exactly how to reliably get the shoe from the first stage, but I still think it's worth going for. And especially if you're going for the 25 stage goal. So stages 1 to 13 are pretty vanilla. Stages 14 to 25 have got some really awkward ones in, and the more resources you've got, the better. So I also mentioned the extend letters, which are when you combo kill enemies. We'll show you what that looks like now. So I've got 4 enemies up here. I'm going to try and kill all of them at once. You see my jumping is a little bit nattier as well. So I've killed all 4 of those guys at the same time. And the next stage has got openings. At the top at the bottom. And we've got letters coming out. 2 letters. So in order to get extend letters, you need to kill 3 or more enemies in one combo. And when you kill 3, you'll get 1 extend letter. 4, you'll get 2, and so on and so forth. They can repeat. So I've got an X here, but I could still get another X. And you need to get 2 separate E's, and the X and the T and the N and the D. And that'll let you skip a level. So one of the strats is going to be to group your enemies together and kill them, so that you're getting these freebies as well. But be aware that when you end the stage, those bubbles will disappear. So I'll show you that. I've died, so I've lost my power-ups. Let's do it again. You see it's slightly different letters this time as well. So if I grab the T, but I don't grab the N and I kill that guy, it disappears. So you've got to be careful with that. You'll have a little bit of a grace period at the end of each level where you can blow bubbles and do things to trick things. You can never die between stages like that. When you've got a ledge like this, if you want to, you can bounce on that ledge, and like if you bounce from a bubble on there, you can break through the bottom. There's another extend letter. And the gravity pulled this Zenchan to the right, but if I pulled him to the left, if I pop all of those at once, then I'm going to have 5 extend letters queued up. You can queue them between levels, so be aware of that. Let's do that. But for example, if I go up here and bounce like that, it's adding to my bounce count. But it's also adding to my screen wrap count, so that could be a useful strat for you as well. Okay. So some levels also have secret doors, and you would need to know about that for level 10 and level 20. The one in level 10 will take you to a bonus room where you grab a crystal ball that's useful. The only effect is just that it's slightly quicker to go in there and grab that at the end of the stage, unless you're setting counters up like blowing bubbles, because you can't blow bubbles in those special doors. And in stage 20, if you ride a water bubble down through the bottom of the screen, then you will get a door at the top. And if you go in there, you get a gem room, and you can get that gem room nice and quickly finished, and then you can end the level early. So that could be a useful way for you to do things as well. You get extra lives with points. There's lots of nice ways to do things here. So now that you know all of that, let's have a look at the actual gameplay. Let's just play through vanilla style. You can see what I'm doing. I'll try and commentate as we go. So 3, 2, 1, let's begin. So I'm not going to go for the secret door here, but I'm going to try and still add my counters. So I need to kill these 3 Zenchans quickly. I'm going to do some jumps, chain these together, get some bubbles, kill them together, and then I'm going to start doing my jumps, so I get my yellow candy. I think the yellow candy is very slightly more important than the shoe, just a little bit. It's not very much though. Get those 4 guys, see if there's anything nice coming down here, blow some bubbles. Nope, no special item. So we'll kill those guys. And now we've got some extend letters coming up. If you grab enough pieces of fruit, you'll also get nice things, be aware of that. Slightly quicker to bounce on bubbles, I think. So we've got a letter there. I should be on for a candy soon enough. Nope, still no special item, but I've got another extend letter, so that's alright. I'm noticing that these guys are getting red, so I'm going to stay here and try and kill them back first, so I don't lose my problems. There we go. Break everything, and we're good. So yeah, like sometimes you might be quicker to bounce on a bubble like this, slightly quicker than jumping. Now my jumps has been reset, so I know I'm going to get a candy. Let's pretend I don't know. I'll get my D. Always take a D when you can. And then something I forgot to mention because I am dim. So you have got spikes on the back of your body there. And if you turn around, the spikes will pop bubbles, but your body won't. So I can push these bubbles forward, but if I turn around and the bubbles hit the spikes, they will break. So that was a 5 combo, not a 6, but that's okay. I'll grab some peaches. And I got my super bubble, so now I can rock through these levels with ease. And we got some more Zen chants here. We're also going to now see water bubbles. There's my other E. Let's show you the extend screen. Instant end of the level, extra life. Bob's your uncle. Into level 6. We've got a new enemy. These are the miters, so they are flame-throwing demons. They will fire fireballs all the way across the screen. So you have to be careful with those. They can also jump up levels. They cannot jump down. Nothing in this game can jump down, it's always up. So, kill these two straight away. They can only fire in the direction they're facing. Small tip, if you want to be slightly quicker into the next level each time, try and position yourself in the bottom left corner here. If you're up here, sometimes the bubble can take a while to put you down into the next part of the stage. One-hit kills in this game, so be careful. Let's wait here, be careful. Smash! Extra life. Do some walking, blow some bubbles. You always want to do this because it's a good habit, and you never know when you'll need your counters set high. Be careful with these guys here. Push them forward into the same area so the gravity affects them, and then we can combo. I'd rather just kill those guys quickly than grab one sweet. Go back to the corner, rinse and repeat. Stage 9, you want to be slightly careful. You've got miters facing both ways. Special item will come here and come here. This one can be useful. If you want to wait this one out on the bottom, if you want to clump these 3 and then these 2, feel free. In fact, we've got a giant combo there because we're rated on the bottom. Crystal Ball is a very useful item because... what does the Crystal Ball do? I know this. I've been playing this game for 30 years. Just trust me, it does something good. Let's try and get it. And these guys are going red, so we're in slight trouble here. Got lucky with a bite. So you can see just how quickly a situation can get away from you as well. Oh yes, I think the Crystal Ball lets the special items appear straight away. Okay. Yes, it does. So you can see the shoe there. So that can be useful because, especially from stages 13, 14 onwards, there are times you'll want to get your quick item straight away to avoid difficult enemies. We've got the whales here, the Skelchans or whatever they're called. So these guys will fly diagonally about the place. They can go up through the bottom of the screen, through here. So these are your awkward enemies, because they can go up, they can go down, they bounce off corners. You've got a safe spot here, there are going to be water bubbles coming out. The stun time on this stage is short, so intend be careful, because bubbles will collect here and it's difficult to kill them. Here you're safe. Pop a water bubble. Go through. We're in danger. And I mentioned that door. That door there. You don't need to go through it for this goal, but I think it's slightly faster to do so. So I'm going to go in there. And then you just have to jump up and grab the ball. Okay, stage 11 is the first really awkward stage. And there's an umbrella there. I know because I can tell what that is. Point of order, don't grab the umbrella because you'll have to do more stages. And in this stage, we're going to stay out on this left half here. We're going to bite a couple of the whales that come down here, turn around, bite a couple of the Zenchants that come down here. And then we're going to be careful for things coming up through here, and we'll try and hang out on the middle. Like that. I can move down. There's a little bit of collision abuse with these platforms, so you have to get used to that. That water bubble got that guy. He's coming up here. Good. So you can move through platforms. You can kind of jump into them and through them. You just have to know where it is. #12 is really awkward because you've got these awkward structures here. Special item will come here. But these whale guys love to come up here and bounce through here and bounce through here. I wouldn't blame you if you took this stage carefully, especially if you've got items, but if you get something quick here that can kill the ball, so much the better. Haven't got that this time, so I'm just going to wait here. Don't be afraid to wait these stages out and get used to them. See, I went too fast there and died, now I'm in trouble. So I can bounce up into here, but the problem is I don't have much room to manoeuvre. And the gravity of the level puts the bubbles into here. So typically what happens in this stage, you end up trying to collect enemies in here and then kill them all. Or you end up having to stand out here and hope they don't kill you from upstairs. There's one. Here's another one. Last one will go red. You can use water bubbles to get through crevices like that as well. Like there. So if it's a small gap and you can't get through, a water bubble will let you get through. This isn't good. You can chain bubbles up here to try and bounce away, they're not letting me. Let's ride down and escape. Death will kill Baron von Blubber. There we go. Okay. So obviously I'm going to need my counters now, so I've got my jump counter set, which is good. I'll get my yellow candy back. 13 isn't so bad. There's a big old heart. You've got, like, channels here. So you can use water bubbles to kill these guys in here. Be careful of these two. Again, don't touch that umbrella. Disqualified if you are. So just use the water bubbles. Kill these guys, take it easy. One left. He's trapped. And he's dead. So there's stage 13. That's the first half of the goal. If you want to do the rest, let's have a look at the rest of the game as well. Infinite continues, so at least it's pretty simple. But the levels get more awkward because there's lots more enemies now as well. We've got a blue cross here. Blue crosses are really good. You will get a blue cross if you pop 20 water bubbles or more. To clarify, when I say pop, I mean that you have to have a chain of water coming out of them. So if there's water on the screen, you pop another bubble, it won't count. It has to be 20 chins of water. But if I get this, it's going to kill everything in the stage. Noah's Ark. That's a nice effect. So that's a nice one to look out for to make your levels a bit easier. $15 tends not to be so bad. Just avoid the Zenchans on top. Kill those guys, get some bubbles, bite the current down, and then again, be careful. Jump out the way of the rocks. There we go. Okay. Now, 16 coming up is one of the first really awkward levels, because it's just tight crevices. There's no real easy way to maneuver. And you've got a bunch of these guys. And what's going to happen is that the gravity is going to send the bubbles through here into here. So the bubbles are immune to the bricks, they can actually float where they want. It's common to get a few traps in here. The spawn time is short, so then one will go mad, and it'll go really hard and fast, and it's difficult. So if you're playing the long version of this, take your time in 16, even if you've got power-ups. Take them one at a time like this. And remember that you can jump through the bottom here, so if you're careful and you put your sprite to the left of here, you can bite these guys, and they can't hurt you. So like this. There we go. Come back out the way. That's pretty decent. So again, 16 can go wrong, but it's not terrible. And remember, you won't get extend letters even if you've made combos unless there are openings in the top or bottom of the stage. This one can be a bit awkward because of these two miters. And these guys like to fly up and around. So you've also got lightning bubbles in this stage from 17 on. When you pop a lightning bubble, you'll get lightning going across the screen in the direction of your spikes. So if I pop it and I'm facing this way, it'll go that way. Otherwise, it'll go that way. And lightning will kill anything it touches, but it will also stun you in place, so be careful. Bzz. That was a good bzz. Arcus will be proud. Does Arcus play Bubble Bubble? He should. Bzz. Don't electrocute your dragon. Okay. Stage 18 is slightly awkward because you've got the Zenchans, but you've got these very tiny platforms everywhere. So it's easy to get trapped, or it's easy to get into a spot where you think you're going to bite them, and they'll get you. There's water bubbles coming through, so probably try and bite one or two and then group the rest off. Again, don't be afraid to take this cautiously. Just watch what they're doing. You see I got kind of double teamed there. Use your water. Oh yes, I forgot to mention. Same deal with the water. So I was facing this way and my spines were facing this way, and that directed the flow of the current of the water as well. Small thing, just be aware. You get a tiny little grace period when you die as well, so you could use that for a bit of invulnerability if you wanted to. That's good water use at least. There we go. I haven't done a full run yet of 0 to 25, but it's going to depend on how you play as well. That's a really good item, the crystal ball. That's going to open up a black hole that's going to kill all the enemies. So this is going to be difficult to get to because 19 is really awkward. Everything's going to fly everywhere, but let's try and get it. Oh, nearly. Can we get it? Oh, that's a shame. You'll have to see what the crystal ball does for yourself. You'll notice I've game overed, but my counters are still active. Infinite continues. Just start again. No problem. And I've lost my item power, so I haven't got the instant items. That's just a point item, that's useless. Let's use some lightning. Bounce up here. Get them all. Lol, I was meant to do that. You can see I know what I'm doing and I'm still messing up. 30 years on the job and it's terrible. Lol. So yeah, you can take these lightning bubbles up. Oh! That's really good. So if you die a couple of times, if you restart the game, you might be given a holy water. I haven't checked the counters, but I think it's to do with like game overs and stuff. So if you do struggle, the game knows that you're struggling and it will help you out. You might find deliberate uses for that if you research the counters yourself or like notice patterns. But a holy water will end the stage and give you just bonus stage, so it's a good way to cheese a level. See if I can get it. Nope. Again, you'll have to watch a long play for yourself, I think. Oh no, here we go. Just missed it. Lol. Bzz. You see that combo gave me an extend letter as well. There we go. Game over and kill the level at the same time. What is it with me in tutorials? Answers on a postcode. Lol. So if I take a death there, then I should be invincible for long enough to grab the item on the right, but it's not a holy water. Oh well. This is looking decent. Hey, I actually finished the level. I'm a big boy. Remember, always message your counters. Always improve your counters. You never know when it'll come in handy. So 20, you've got a secret where if you pop a water bubble and ride it down through the bottom here, you'll land up here, and you'll go into a door here. These guys, the twirlies, they will twirl about in a sort of figure 80 style floaty fashion. Can be awkward. But let's show you that secret. This is the water, that's okay. Get used to game overing, just accept it, it makes no difference. You know. It just means you get to try the same strategy again. No problem. Catch the water. Here we go. And a secret door. And we get lots of gems. Once you collect all the gems, that's the end of the level. This dragon has clearly been watching David Dickinson in the daytime. Cheap as chips. Okay. 21 is awkward because you have got these trapped enemies and the game is forcing you to use the whole collision abuse thing, but they can all jump up a level. Don't be fooled by like the height of these, they can always advance to the next height. So eventually they're all going to jump out and get out and cause you all sorts of mischief, so let's do some biting. Let's get these miters away first, because they're awkward. Peacock Feather is a really good item. You can trigger it. I don't know what the criterion is, but in good playthroughs where I've played to, 13, 25, whatever beyond, it's common to end up with the Peacock Feather by stage 11. So it must be something particular I'm doing, I just don't know the counter yet. But the Peacock Feather is a special item, which will give you a Ring of Invulnerability that will kill enemies, and it will last for 3 stages, or until you collect special items. I'll show you what that looks like. Lovely fairy. Still be careful with the enemies because they can still touch you. '22 is easy because we've just got 4 twirlies and some lightning bubbles. Nice and simple. And they can never hurt you. We've also got the Book of Death. That is going to turn that twirly into a piece of ice. The game slows down a lot. You can still be hurt during that time, so be careful. And that is now effectively a point item. You don't even have to grab it. The game will end the level soon as well. 23, similar structure. Lots of twirlies. I can just take 3 hits here. Look at a Holy Water, let's see if we can get that. So a Holy Water will just end the level and give you lots of bonuses. And you can either just let the timer run out, or you can collect all the bonuses. Which is nice. You get lots of extra lives. Obviously really fun as a 2-player game to get those, but who knows, maybe in theory you might find a way to game the system by game overing a couple of times, and then playing from that, like as part of your playthrough, because it makes the stage easier with the counters. It's up to you to work that out. 24 is a bit awkward. There's these loads of twirlies here. They're all going to float down. You can see they're coming to get me. I've got a nice safe spot here though. And then we get a special item, which is a super. That's nice. Be especially careful with red twirlies and white spots. They can mess you up. Like, it's common for them to just suddenly hurt you a lot. Only 1 stage left. Stage 25, the final stage of the goal, is the popcorn stage. You get the miters, or whatever they're called. And you get a special item here. And we get flame bubbles as well. Flame bubbles will set everything on fire, again with the direction of your spikes. That can be useful. But that's Bubble Bubble. So, remember your counters. Let's recap. Let's just recap the counters. Jump 40 times to get a yellow candy. Gives you rapid bubbles. Blow 40 bubbles to get a pink candy that makes them travel further. Pop 40 bubbles to get a blue candy that makes them travel faster. Run 12 times across the screen to get your shoe. Makes you run twice as fast. Pop a load of water bubbles to get the blue cross. Keep an eye out for other counters. Avoid the umbrellas. Remember to try and combo your enemies to get extend letters. Find a manip that works for you. If you want to be cautious, then play a few times with the cheat in stage 1, and then if you feel like you're doing well without it, then just carry on without it. Good luck.